This is WEAU 13 News at 6.
All new at 6, it's a parent's worst nightmare, checking on your kids only to learn they're nowhere to be found. But a simple device might be able to ease those fears. It was a story that rallied a community last week when Scott Meyer disappeared from his Pierce County home.
This particular case was all the more urgent because Scott is autistic and doesn't talk. Luckily, he was found by one of the numerous volunteers that came to the area to help search the morning after he was reported missing. This weekend, we learned the Pierce County Sheriff's Office has special bracelets they give to families who have children with specific needs. We decided to take a closer look at these bracelets, what they're designed to do, and if other counties offer them. WEAU's Megan Lowry continues our coverage with a story you'll see only on 13.
Every child has a sense of exploration. Open a door, walk out, and within seconds, a nightmare for parents can begin, especially moms and dads who have a child with autism or any disability that makes it difficult for the child to communicate that they're lost. A tracking bracelet like this one can be a life-saving tool because it can tell you where the child is when he or she can't. Now, for some children like Scott Meyer who have sensory issues, it might not work, but for others, it's an invaluable tool.
Hey, where is he?
8-year-old Nathan Drinkman is much like any other boy his age. He loves cars and can barely sit still. But Nathan has Down syndrome and autism, making it difficult for him to communicate.
Nathan basically, he does not speak. He's not able to tell us, he's not able to go up to a stranger and say, "I'm lost. Can you please get me home?"
That's why the Drinkmans got their son a tracking bracelet.
We noticed with Nathan we were better off to put it around his ankle.
The bracelet gives off an FM frequency unique to only Nathan's bracelet. It's part of a program called Project Lifesaver that St. Croix County uses.
The reason that we decided we wanted the tracking device is because Nathan has the point where he can get out and he can run around. He actually can run. So he can open a door by himself and he will take off.
Shelley says the bracelet was a huge comfort for her family because if Nathan was lost, authorities could use the frequency from the bracelet to pinpoint his location much faster than a search party could.
It was a humongous relief to have it.
But when the Drinkmans moved to Eau Claire, they were disappointed to find out Eau Claire County doesn't have the program. The Drinkmans say now without the bracelet, they're having to take more precautions.
If I'm not in my living room or if I'm not in my house somewhere and he's alone, my door is locked because I'm afraid he's going to go out there.
We're going to be putting an alarm system on our doors too, for the fact that if he does, we can hear every time someone opens the door.
I talked to the Eau Claire County Sheriff's Department who said they've looked into programs like the Project Lifesaver, but they haven't had enough interest from the community, and the La Crosse County Sheriff says they used to have a program like it, but there wasn't enough interest from their community either to keep it. Live in Eau Claire, Megan Lowry, WEAU 13 News.
Thanks, Megan. There's relief from the heat, but now a new problem. Dry conditions are here to stay for a while. So what do the next few hours hold? Skyward 13 meteorologist Matt Hoffman is here with a first check of the forecast. Matt?
Well, Chris, it will be dry this evening and really the next several days not holding much in the way of rainfall, but there is some rain in the forecast. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But first, let's take a look at what's going on there right now across the area. You can see our Skyward 13 Doppler radar showing not much rain here in the western portions of the state, but a few showers moving through eastern portions around Green Bay. Down towards the south, there were those showers and thunderstorms we saw in some of our northern counties yesterday. That's if you didn't get any rain here, though. Yesterday, we're really not going to see much the rest of the week, and this evening looks quiet as well. The drier air mass in place will allow for temperatures to dip pretty quickly tonight. We'll be in the 50s, so it'll feel pretty refreshing, but a warm-up is in store, but we do have that rain in the forecast. I'll let you know when coming up in just a bit. Chris?
It's a story we broke as part of an Assignment 13 investigation, and tonight, sirens that are meant to help protect people who are outside when storms are closing in continue to be silent in parts of Eau Claire. WEAU's Aaron Dimmick is live at Memorial High School in Eau Claire tonight, following up on his series of Assignment 13 reports. Aaron?
Chris, the siren here at Memorial High School is one of 3 to fail its test this week in the city of Eau Claire. And it turns out it could all be because of our recent extreme weather. Crews at work this afternoon repairing the emergency warning siren at the Shawtown Neighborhood Park. The city of Eau Claire says the siren malfunctioned because it was struck by lightning during a recent storm.
Because the battery was split and 2 of the batteries were dead.
A similar story at Memorial High School, where the city says a lightning strike fried the siren's radio receiver.
High voltage surge caused the battery to split, which means all the acid dripped out, so that battery doesn't work, and those sirens require the batteries to operate properly.
Mother Nature even using our recent extreme heat to strike back at the sirens.
But when it gets hot like this, they can boil over and boil out.
The siren near the Princeton Valley Golf Course also failed last week's test, but that's currently being looked into. Beecher says crews from the siren vendor were in Eau Claire today, checking up on all the city's 19 sirens.
The batteries need to be maintained. That's something that we're working on doing a lot better job at.
And the city says a siren here at Memorial could be out of service for the next 6 weeks, and neighbors should listen for other sirens in the area. As for the other 2 sirens we mentioned, it's not yet known when they could be back in order. We're live tonight in Eau Claire. Aaron Dimmick, WEAU 13 News.
New at 6, a Chippewa Valley company wins a Marine Corps contract worth $85 million. W.S. Darley and Company in Chippewa Falls will build trailer-mounted pumps to help protect troops around the world. The pumps will be used to get fuel and drinkable water to Marines in combat. Under the contract, Darley will deliver up to 1,500 pump systems to the Marine Corps over the next 5 years. Reporter Kevin Hurd was in Chippewa Falls today and will let us know what this contract means for the community, coming up tonight on WEAU 13 News at 10.
Bond has been set for a man who led police on a dangerous chase over the weekend. Chippewa County deputies arrested 31-year-old Matthew Herlica on Saturday. Today, a judge set bond at $10,000 cash. Deputies say Herlica's car hit a motorcycle in the town of Lafayette. When officers got to the scene, he didn't cooperate. Deputies say he took off, hitting a deputy who was not seriously hurt. Herlica eventually ditched the car and took off on foot. Investigators say he then stole a boat on Lake Wissota and ended up at a Jim Falls tavern where he was taken away in handcuffs.
Police in Rice Lake are reminding you to lock your houses and cars after a teen was caught stealing. The department says it got a call about a person who was looking into a house around 4 a.m. this morning. When officers arrived, the person took off running but was caught and arrested. It says the 17-year-old boy from Barron had stolen property and some of it remains unclaimed. If you're missing any property, you can call the number on your screen.
Wisconsin is known for its beer, but lately the production has been as flat as a warm keg. According to tax figures from the State Department of Revenue, Wisconsin beer output has stayed at the same level for the last 3 years. All new tonight, WEAU's Alyssa Fensky visited local breweries to find out why production is at a lull.
In April, breweries made 175,000 barrels of beer in Wisconsin, according to the Wisconsin Department of Revenue, a steady decline from the 232,000 barrels that were produced 3 years ago.
The beer category, as far as sales go, in the state of Wisconsin has been pretty steady.
Less beer means less revenue.
Beer is pretty heavily taxed, so a lot of money comes from the beer industry going back into the community.
But for beer production to rise, others must fall.
Usually another category like distilled spirits or wine would have to go down for beer to go up.
Production in Wisconsin may be at a stall right now, but consumption in Wisconsin is high. A lot of craft beers are on the rise right now, like this one, the Rubber Mill Pill.
Small craft breweries like the Pearl Street Brewery anticipate an increase in production this year.
We do 5 bottled beers, packaged and distributed throughout the state. And actually this week we are releasing a new bottled beer, so we'll have 6 beers available in 6-packs across the state starting this week.
In La Crosse, I'm Alyssa Fensky, WEAU 13 News.
Now, your Skywarn 13 weather forecast.
Here are the numbers from today. The cold front yesterday brought even some more comfortable air into western Wisconsin, but it was still warm out there. 87 degrees, the low this morning of 61. No rain in the rainfall bucket. I don't think that's going to be it's going to continue to be the case here the next few days, but we do have some rain in the forecast. Unfortunately, it's going to come on the weekend, so a little bit of bad timing there. But let's take a look at what we're experiencing right now. 84 degrees at the Chippewa Valley Regional Airport, but the big key here is the dew point, 51 only, so very comfortable. Cool Canadian high pressure has moved into the area. And a northerly flow is bringing some drier air into the area. Those showers that we experienced yesterday have moved down into Iowa. So it's a quiet day, and we're going to see a day very similar tomorrow like what we saw today. Highs will be in the mid-80s, but the difference will be is we're going to be a little bit cooler tomorrow morning, with high pressure sitting on top of the area and the drier air, so that will be pretty nice. Very refreshing as well. So dew points generally in the lower 50s, even some 40s. 46 the dew point in Winona, 45 for you folks in Black River Falls. Temperatures, yes, it was warm, but it's still summer after all. 86 in Winona, 86 in La Crosse, 86 as well in Black River Falls right now. Temperatures a little bit cooler off towards the north, 81 in Rice Lake and 81 in Ladysmith. And tomorrow will be a couple degrees cooler, but still pretty warm out there, but it will be more towards seasonable temperatures. So across the Midwest, we have this kind of northwesterly flow in the upper levels. That's going to keep us high and dry and relatively comfortable, but there's a big ridge off towards the west. Temperatures are really going to kind of soar here the next couple days. Eventually that's going to be working towards us, so look for a warm up here later in the week, but eventually that big ridge will buckle this weekend, it looks like, and that'll be the opportunity for some rainfall, which is good news. We definitely do need it, but high pressure settling on in. Things should be quiet and dry. Temperatures starting out tomorrow in the 50s, and then during the day tomorrow, much like what we saw today, just a few fair weather cumulus clouds, but all in all, very nice. Once again, humidity very comfortable, but then as we go on to Wednesday, winds will kind of start to switch out of the west-southwest. That'll usher in some warmer air, and kind of our big warm-up will begin. Your forecast tonight, 55 degrees, clear skies and cool. Winds will go calm. Then for tomorrow, 85 degrees, a nice day on tap, mostly sunny, low humidity as well. North-northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then there we go, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, temperatures warming up into the upper 80s, and by the time we get towards Friday, you'll notice more in the way of some humidity, and that will last into the weekend.
The Minnesota Wild celebrated arguably the biggest day in franchise history today. The team introducing free agents Ryan Suter and Zach Parise. These are also exciting times for Eau Claire's Jake Dowell, as he signed a 2-year contract to play for the Wild last week. I caught up with Jake this morning as he talked about what it means to get a chance to play so close to home and with two top-notch players.
Ryan and Zach both bring, world-class talent and work ethic, and they've also won at a lot of levels, and so they're looking to win the Stanley Cup, and that's what the ultimate goal is.
While the Minnesota Wild were introducing their two $98 million free agent prize acquisitions in St. Paul this afternoon, Eau Claire native Jake Dowell was skating at Mariucci Arena in Minneapolis, thrilled to be a member of the Wild and excited to be reunited with some former Badger teammates.
Tom Gilbert and Ryan have been a couple of my best friends for a long time, so it's exciting to be able to be back and be playing with them again, and be able to spend a little bit more time with them. And obviously they're great players, and in a matter of a couple days they changed a lot and made this team, there's some high hopes and more pressure now to succeed, which is great, and that's what you want.
After spending the first few years of his professional career with the Chicago Blackhawks, Jake played with the Dallas Stars last season, but now hopes to stick around in Minnesota, be part of an organization that, with the addition of Parise and Suter, are poised to make a run at the Cup.
I don't think I'm coming here to be on a top line and be on the power play or anything. I think that's obvious, but I think the point is to get a good mix of the gritty players and the real skilled players. Obviously play as much as I can and get some penalty kill and be more of a role player.
I have a real soft spot in my heart for guys that bring something like that to the table. And Jake is one of those guys. He's going to be a great role player for us. He's going to be a great team guy. He's going to be a guy that has done a lot of winning and knows what it takes to win. He's going to help the culture within our dressing room and our leadership core. But as an individual, this is a guy that is going to come in and make our team tougher to play against, and ultimately that's what we saw in him.
As for Jake's longtime friend Ryan Suter, he echoes his coach's belief that championship caliber teams need players like a Jake Dowell, a guy willing to do anything to win.
I think he plays hard, he plays the right way, he's tough, he's a great teammate, and I think that's a big reason why they got him.
And Chris and Judy, I want to thank Jake for letting me spend the morning with him over at Mariucci Arena and did the interview with me. And Ryan Suter, great guy. Those guys, Jake and Ryan, were roommates freshman year at Wisconsin.
Really?
And played on that national championship team. So just a great story, and best of luck to Jake.
Yeah, that's really exciting. It'll be a lot of fun to watch. All right, thanks a lot, Bob.
Bob, what are you working on for Tim?
Major League Baseball home run derby tonight. I'm going on a limb. I'm taking Prince Fielder.
You are. Gee, that is a limb to take.
Not much of a limb. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you back here tonight at 10 o'clock.